What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. If you click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to, so click the damn link. Now, with that being said, we are here today with another review. Now, I know this movie is a little bit old, but I don't give a damn. I just recently saw it. I've been meaning to watch it a while ago, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. A Man Called Otto. A Man Called Otto is a Tom Hanks movie starring Tom Hanks, produced by Tom Hanks, and it's based on a Swedish movie called A Man Called Ove, right? The screenplay is written by David Maggie and is directed by Mark Forster. Now, this movie is about an older man named Otto. He's like one of those grumpy old men in the neighborhood. He's used to his neighborhood being a certain way, and when the younger crowd moves in, or when people move in, or people in the area live there and they don't abide by the rules, he gets real anal about it, right? So he's just that grumpy old man that's like, stay off my lawn. He's one of those type of men, you know. But on top of that, Otto is dealing with something. He's recently lost his wife, and he's dealing with the dark thoughts that come with grief. You know what I mean. I'm not going to just go out and say it because YouTube is a little bit when it comes to that subject matter. But he is dealing with demons in this movie, and it's just a really feel good movie that dives deep into the life of what might cause this man to feel this type of way, kind of like a character study in a way. Also, about how the people around you can kind of lift you up out of that grief and give you another purpose in this world where you feel like you've lost your purpose. But on top of that, Otto himself is dealing with his own issues that are outside of like depression and things like that find its way into the story in order to make it a little bit more how can I say, a little bit more interesting or a little bit more difficult per se. But anyway, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, when you're watching this movie, you might want to have a pack of tissues ready, just sitting by your side, just ready to go, because this is definitely a tearjerker movie. The implementation of a Kate Bush song, which I so happen to know it by Maxwell, the implementation of that part of that song into this movie was done perfectly. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a fucking heart-wrenching moment. This movie is a very heart-wrenching movie, and it talks about some very dark things. And I believe that if you are in a negative state of mind, you cannot watch this movie because it is probably going to amplify those emotions. It's a great movie to have conversations on the subject matter, but also if you are having those dark thoughts, I believe that you should probably seek help. This isn't, when you're dealing with those type of emotions, it isn't like a movie, dude. You're not gonna all of a sudden have like neighbors that move in and give you a new sense of purpose, and then all of a sudden that dark cloud that's been looming around you just goes away. Sure, that helps, but the possibility of that happening, this isn't, life isn't a movie. You get what I'm saying? So please, 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 if you have those dark thoughts, I implore you to seek help. Mental health is a very, very serious thing. Please call somebody. There's hotlines. There's all types of things that you can reach out to for some sort of help, and I will implore that you do that, please. Getting back into the movie, again, this movie kind of like has those conversations about how people as a community, like the idea of a community has become disconnected. I remember growing up, like my aunt used to tell me about the neighborhood and how everybody kind of used to look out for each other and how everybody had each other's back, and you would kind of notice when things were out of place. And this movie kind of shows that disengagement from that, like everybody kind of does their own thing, and it allows Otto's character to kind of like slip in the darkness, and people don't realize it. The things that he does are super freaking obvious, that he's trying to do things to himself, and yet people are just so blind to the matter because they're so disengaged from the situation. But luckily he runs into some neighbors that not only give him a sense of purpose, but he also gives them a sense of purpose, and he believes in them, and it also helps their development as well. Otto's character also interacts with many different people people whom which known his wife and whom his wife has changed their life. Now, I am going to say that that part becomes kind of questionable. Some characters do feel like they're kind of just there for no reason at all, and you could kind of just like remove them from the story, and it wouldn't add to take anything away from the movie. So when you see characters like that, you kind of question, you just question it. That's it. You simply just question it, like did we really need that? You know what I mean? But moving along, Tom Hanks does a phenomenal job in this movie, and his son is also in this movie. Who looks fucking almost identical to Tom Hanks in a way. It's like a love child between Tom Hanks and Joaquin Phoenix is weird. But yeah, you could definitely see it's crazy that he has his son play a younger version of himself. It's really cool. And another conversation that's not had in this movie, and as I watch this movie, I'm like, I feel like Otto's character's on the spectrum. And my wife was like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. And I looked it up, and yeah, like his character was on the spectrum in this movie, and to me it was pretty interesting. He was a high functioning. I believe he had Asperger's, or he was supposed like his character was supposed to have Asperger's or whatever. But it just gives you that understanding. It gives you another layer to the onion. Not only was this man dealing with grief and these dark thoughts and things like that, and that could be the reason why he's acting like that. But his character could have also been acting like that because he's on the spectrum, and understanding how to deal with people on the spectrum is not super simplistic, and coming from somebody who doesn't see it or doesn't understand it, you can perceive their actions or their attitude or their bluntness. You can kind of see that as disrespect, but for them, it's just like understanding how to function in society the way that they know how to. So like I said, this movie is full of conversations to have. Like it's full of so many different conversations. It's such a heartwarming movie with an amazing cast, amazing score. And I'm kind of sad that I missed out on seeing it last year. I remember seeing the poster, and we were like, "Oh yeah, Tom Hanks movie." Like like Tom Hanks usually never fails when it comes to movies, in my opinion. He's a great actor. Usually, when he ties his name to something, usually the movie's pretty damn good, except for Elvis. But that's a conversation for another day. I understand the potential we saw in that movie, but yeah, that wasn't it. But like overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'm not even gonna get like into like the grade for this movie, because I'm gonna just tell you off top, this is a really good movie, and you should definitely go see it. It's If I had to give it a grade, it's definitely getting an A. Amazing movie, very heartwarming, very I kind of want to see the Swedish version of it, because I know this is based on like a best-selling book that was turned into a movie, and then eventually it had an American adaptation. So I'm really interested in seeing the difference between the American version and the Swedish version, because there are always similarities between movies, and I would love to see how the character differs from the different regions, and maybe even some of the problems that the character faces. Like, I know that some of the things in this movie that they talked on is identity, and they talked about depression, and then again we have the autism thing. So I wonder, what are the elements, if there's different elements that are kind of like touched on in that movie, because these are different things going on in Sweden, But anyway, that's my review. I love The Man Called Otto. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a magnificent day. Adios, homies.